to remove the front of the van, basically we have to drill a whole bunch of spot welds out around the front vent area. We'll get to that in a little while. But here you can see I'm grinding the return lip on the driver's side. I've already done the passenger side one and didn't get video of that, I'm afraid, sorry. I've taken the audio off this because there's a lot of me cursing and swearing because there's not very much room in the garage on the right hand side. We've got a bit from when we had the extension built that needs to go away. Need to either give that away or sell it or something. It's just a shower screen, but basically makes it awkward for me to get in. That said, we managed to grind it off here, and yeah, let's have a look. And so on we go to drilling out spot welds around the front of the vent here on the front panel, along the top and down the sides. There's loads and loads of these spot welds for me to drill out. I'm centre punching them using an automatic centre punch, which then failed on me, and so I went back to the standard hit it with a hammer centre punch, which seemed to work way better, so I think I'll just do that in the future. You can also see me cutting out quite a lot of this front panel as we don't need it anymore. We have a new panel to go in, and so that's all good. The old panel is now sitting around the back of the house. One of our friends has said they might want it for a garage ornament. More than welcome, saves me taking it down the scrapyard. So, but it's so rusty. It's already, we can see when we take the panel off later on that it's had a couple of little bumps at the front, at least one when the spare wheel was mounted to the front of the van, and one previous to that. There's a repair, quite a big repair actually, at the bottom of the panel, which is either rust or accident damage. Nothing too bad, nothing that requires any kind of chassis work or anything like that, just panel damage, but good to be getting it out, getting some fresh metal in later. had some fun with this one. Anyway, so we've got the front panel off, and you can see, look at all that rust through the top inner panel. We bought some repair pieces for those either side, but they don't come anywhere close to where that centre piece of rust is that you can see there. And so we've had to order another inner front panel, so hopefully that'll be here this week. You can see the dents on that piece just below the vent there, where the spare wheel's been pushed in. There's also some work needed down at the bottom of the A-pillars as well, which is not unusual, I understand. These things do like to rust, and they are very old now. Now we've got the front panel off, we can take a look at this passenger A-pillar. We've got some repair sections here from, I think it's Schofield's. They don't go straight on, it's kind of, they're longer than the A-pillar is. And they don't curve at top and bottom, basically, they're just a straight form, but they're pretty cheap. They're like about sort of £10-11 each, I think, something like that. And what it does allow you to do is it allows you to kind of repair that inner section by the seam, the fold back seam, and replace the bit that's obviously all rusty out. So I think pretty much what happens on most buses, or at least what it looks like, is that you get some rust in the top of the roof, and that leaks down through the A-pillar behind the whole thing, hiding what's going on, and it just kind of rusts out behind. The A-pillar itself is made out of pretty thick steel, and so even though it looks horrible and rusty once we take this bit off, what you can actually see once you've kind of buzzed it back, got rid of the scale and hit it with some rust converter, is that it's still pretty solid behind there, and so it's just the top face that I need to replace it. so now we've got this A-pillar cut out, we can use our industry standard CAD, cardboard aided design, in this case Weetabix I think, to make a template for putting onto the repair panel. So we just chop off the bit that we need, get that welded in. Apologies for the camera angle here, it's not the best, but it's freezing outside, and so we were just doing what we could, trying to get a video out for everybody, because I'm a bit aware that we've not really made a video for a little while, and so yeah, we needed to get something out so that people can see how we're getting on. This is a big job for us, putting the front panel on. I did look into potentially getting somebody to do this professionally, but it's hugely expensive. We already bought the panel about 2 years ago, before all of the madness kicked off around the world, and so we've kind of already got that. It's quite an expensive panel, so I thought, well, what the hell, I'll probably be able to get this in and done, try and make a good a job of it as possible, I think, from the DIY perspective. I've certainly got all the gear, there's no real excuse why I shouldn't be able to do this. So at this point the battery died in the main camera that we used to record this. That's one of the little DJI cameras, DJI Pocket 2 I think it's called. It's a pretty good camera, but it's an internal battery, and you tell them out of practice for this stuff, as it just died, we didn't realise. Anyway, so wife helped out by taking some video, unfortunately on the phone in portrait mode, so sorry about that. I'll try and make sure it's in landscape in the future. We're out of practice with this stuff, to be honest, because we've not been doing much on the van for a while. We've had other things going on. Mark 1 Golf's gone, being replaced by something else, which is under the car cover now, and tucked away in the garage. We'll perhaps cover that if people are interested at a later date. Yeah, so basically all that remains at this point until the end of the video is some footage of me slowly tack welding the A-pillar repair into the A-pillar itself. I've covered it in rust converter underneath, weld through primer, all that stuff to protect it going forward, so it should be pretty solid for the future. And I'm trying to be as patient as possible here whilst I'm welding this up to avoid any warpage. Checking, welding, checking, welding. Anyway, I won't leave you to go through the next however many minutes worth of welding footage there is, I'll speed it up for you. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. What you think of my approach, what you think of my welding. There's a picture at the end of what the finished thing looks like. I haven't ground it back yet, but that's a job for this week. We've got to do the next A-pillar on the driver's side. I don't think that one's quite as bad, actually. It says hopefully. And obviously the next big step for us will be cutting out and welding that inner top panel behind the windscreen. And I'll try and make another video of that for those of you that are interested. Channel actually, whilst we've been away, this makes me feel a bit guilty really, but it's hit 100 subscribers, and so that's, I'll be honest, I never thought I'd get 100 subscribers on a channel of me just kind of repairing our van, but thanks to everybody who's subscribed. It's yeah, it feels quite good that people are interested, and we'll keep trying to make videos and showing you what we're going through, if that's of interest. Let me know down in the comments if there's areas you think I've not done well. Always interested in feedback. There's been 1 or 2 comments on the previous videos where people have said do things in a different way. Obviously it's done now, so I'm not going back in time, but there's a lot of good knowledge and experience out there, and you sharing that in the comments helps other people who come along and watch videos, so appreciate all of that. So yeah, thanks, like, subscribe, all that rubbish, and I'll leave you with the rest of this welding montage. Cheers.